Bartolomeu Dias, a name etched in the annals of exploration, was a pioneering Portuguese navigator who became the first European to sail around the southern tip of Africa, a milestone that would forever alter the course of world history. Born around 1450 into a family connected to the Portuguese royal household, Dias grew up during a time when Portugal was fervently seeking new trade routes and expanding its maritime knowledge. Inspired by the successes of earlier explorers along the African coast, King John II of Portugal entrusted Dias in 1487 with a bold mission: to find a sea route to India by sailing around the mysterious southern end of the African continent. The king's goal was to establish direct trade links with the East, thus bypassing the dangerous and costly land routes controlled by Muslim empires. In August 1487, Bartolomeu Dias set sail from Lisbon with 3 ships, 2 caravels, and a supply ship. As he journeyed southward along the coast of Africa, he faced numerous challenges: harsh weather, treacherous waters, dwindling supplies, and the growing uncertainty of venturing into largely uncharted territories. Dias and his men meticulously mapped parts of the west coast of Africa, making stops along the way to restock provisions and record new discoveries. After months at sea, a violent storm struck, lasting several days and pushing his ships far off course into unknown waters. Once the storm subsided, Dias's fleet turned eastward, but saw no coastline, only open ocean. Confused but determined, Dias sailed northward. And there, to his astonishment, the African coastline reappeared on his left-hand side. It was then that Dias realized he had sailed around the southernmost point of Africa, achieving what no European before him had accomplished. Although he never set foot precisely on the tip itself, his fleet sailed close enough to make detailed observations. Initially, he called the discovery the Cape of Storms, because of the fierce weather and rough seas they encountered. However, upon hearing of the success, King John II renamed it the Cape of Good Hope, for it signaled a hopeful new route to India and the East. Dias wished to press onward to India, but his crew, exhausted, fearful, and low on supplies, refused to continue. Forced to turn back, Dias erected a padrone, a stone pillar bearing the Portuguese coat of arms, at several key points along the African coast, including at the Cape, to mark Portugal's claim to the newly discovered route. Though he returned to Portugal without reaching India himself, Dias's voyage was celebrated as a monumental breakthrough. It proved that the Atlantic and Indian Oceans were connected and that a sea route to Asia was indeed possible. Dias continued to serve Portugal after his historic voyage. He helped to prepare future expeditions, including advising Vasco da Gama, who would successfully reach India by sea a decade later. Tragically, Bartolomeu Dias died at sea in 1500 during Pedro Alvarez Cabral's expedition, which was aimed at establishing a trade route with India and ended up discovering Brazil along the way. Fittingly, Dias died near the Cape he had first rounded, overwhelmed once again by the treacherous waters he had conquered years earlier. Bartolomeu Dias's courage, skill, and perseverance opened the doors to a new era of exploration, international trade, and cultural exchange. His achievements laid the foundations for the Portuguese Empire and initiated a period of European colonial expansion that would reshape the political and economic map of the world for centuries to come. His journey around the Cape of Good Hope remains one of the great